Everyone says wait to take Social Security. If you search for retirement advice online, you will find a mountain of experts telling you that claiming early is a massive financial mistake. They tell you to hold out until you are 67 or even 70 to maximize that monthly check. But for millions of hardworking people, that standard advice is actually wrong. In fact, taking your Social Security at 62 could put more money in your pocket over your lifetime if you understand how to play the game correctly. Today, I am going to show you 7 smart reasons why claiming early might be the best financial move you ever make for your future. Stick around because number 5 is the one most retirees end up regretting ignoring until it is far too late to change their strategy. Before we dive into the reasons, let's set the stage with some quick context so we are all on the same page. In the world of retirement planning, you have a few major milestones. You can start claiming your benefits as early as age 62, but doing so means your monthly check is reduced by about 30% compared to your full retirement age. For most people watching this, your full retirement age is likely 67. If you wait even longer up until age 70, your benefit grows by about 8% every single year you delay. Most financial experts look at those numbers and say you should delay as long as possible to get the biggest check. On paper, that makes perfect sense. But that generic advice completely ignores real-life situations, your health, your family, and the volatility of the stock market. Let's break down when taking it early actually makes sense for your specific life. Reason number 1 is a simple reality check. You might just need the income right now. We often talk about retirement as if it is a choice we make on a specific day with a gold watch and a cake. However, for many people, early retirement is forced upon them. Maybe you face an unexpected job loss in your early 60s and finding a new position at the same pay level feels impossible. Maybe you are dealing with burnout after 40 years in the workforce, or perhaps physical limitations are making your current job unsustainable. Perfect financial strategies do not matter if you need cash flow to pay your mortgage or buy groceries today. Imagine a person who is 62 years old, has worked a physically demanding job, and their body is simply telling them it is over. If they wait until 67 to claim, they might exhaust their entire savings just to survive those 5 years. This is where most wait until 70 advice falls apart because it assumes you have other unlimited sources of income to bridge the gap. Reason number 2 is that the break-even age is never a guarantee. This is a math problem that every retiree has to face. The break-even age is the point in time where the total amount of money you received by waiting for a bigger check finally surpasses the total amount of money you would have received by taking a smaller check early. For most people, that break-even point is somewhere between the ages of 77 and 82. This means you have to live well into your late 70s just to justify the money you gave up in your early 60s. Social Security at 62 gives you a massive head start. You are collecting checks for 60 months before the person who waits until 67 even gets their first dollar. You have to live long enough to not only catch up, but to actually come out ahead. Life expectancy is a statistic, not a guaranteed outcome for your specific life. If you do not reach that break-even age, you essentially leave thousands of dollars on the table that stay with the government instead of going to your family. Reason number 3 focuses on your health and longevity reality. This is a deeply personal factor that a spreadsheet cannot calculate for you. Think about your family history. Do people in your family typically live into their 90s? Or do they tend to struggle with health issues in their 60s and 70s? Money is only useful if you are healthy enough to actually enjoy it. Many retirees find that their go-go years, the years where they are active, traveling, and checking items off their bucket list, happen between 62 and 75. By the time you reach 85, your spending often naturally decreases because you aren't traveling as much. Taking the money at 62 allows you to fund those active years while you still have the energy and mobility to make memories. This is one of the most overlooked but most important factors in the entire retirement discussion. Reason number 4 is a game changer. You can actually invest the money earlier. Taking Social Security at 62 does not mean you have to spend the money immediately. If you have other sources of income but choose to claim early anyway, you can take those checks and put them directly into a brokerage account. While Social Security benefits increase by a fixed percentage if you wait, The stock market has historically provided significant growth over long periods. By taking the money early and investing it, you are giving that capital more time to compound. This strategy flips the traditional advice completely on its head, because it treats Social Security as an investment seed rather than just a monthly allowance. If the market performs well, the total value of your invested benefits plus the growth could far exceed the value of a slightly higher monthly check that starts much later in life. Reason number 5 is the pro move that experienced retirees and advisors think about: reducing your sequence of returns risk. This sounds complicated, but the concept is actually quite simple. If the stock market crashes right as you retire and you are forced to sell your stocks at a low price to pay your bills, your portfolio might never recover. This is the biggest fear in retirement planning. By taking Social Security at 62, you create a guaranteed floor of income. This allows you to leave your investment portfolio alone during market downturns. Instead of selling your shares when they are down 20%, you use your Social Security check to cover your costs. This protects your nest egg and allows it to bounce back when the market eventually recovers. People often regret waiting to take Social Security because they were forced to drain their private savings during a bear market, which permanently damaged their long-term wealth. Reason number 6 is all about flexibility and control over your own life. When you have that monthly check coming in at 62, it gives you the psychological freedom to make different choices. Maybe you do not quit working entirely, but you shift to part-time work or a lower-stress consulting gig because you know your basic expenses are covered. This reduces the immense pressure that comes with being entirely dependent on a paycheck or a fluctuating 401k. Sometimes peace of mind and the ability to breathe a little easier every month is worth much more than a bigger check 8 years down the road. It is about buying back your time while you are still young enough to appreciate it. Reason 7. Policy risk and uncertainty.
We hope the system stays solid, but the Social Security trust funds may struggle in the early 2030s.
To keep the system solvent, Congress may raise the retirement age or change how payments are calculated for future retirees. Taking your benefits today under the regulations you understand eliminates the chance of legislative changes changing your starting point. Nothing is guaranteed decades from now, therefore some people take control of their benefits early to hedge against political unpredictability. This decision is not one size fits all, so let's look at it in a balanced way. There are times when waiting is best. If you are healthy, have a family history of living to 100, and enjoy a high salary, waiting until 70 can give a large inflation-protected life annuity you cannot outlast. Waiting might boost your partner's surviving benefits if you earn more. This option is about what's best for you and your family, not everyone. Ask yourself these 4 questions to decide. How is my health and family longevity? Secondly, do I need this cash flow to escape high-interest debt or quit a toxic job? Thirdly, can I invest some of this money for long-term growth? Fourthly, if the stock market declines in 3 years, would my retirement plan fail? If you need extra security or want to preserve your investments, 62 is a good age to claim. Taking Social Security at 62 isn't necessarily the mistake the headlines say. It can be the smarter decision that gives you more wealth, freedom, and less stress in your best years. You should look at your finances as a whole, not simply monthly numbers. Hit the like button and comment below if you will take your Social Security early or wait. Subscribe and hit the notification bell to never miss a deep dive into the areas that matter most to your future for more money and retirement planning techniques. Thanks for watching. See you next time.